That means it's time for Cactus League Baseball. Understandably high, and a lot of that has to do with what's expected six-man rotation. Here are the likely candidates, and Blake Snell with a great second half. Another familiar face in Nick Martinez. He was one of the Padres. Now there you see the numbers. Obviously the reliever numbers more downshifted by working out of the rotation. He will get the ball today. Well, let's play some ball. It is time for Cactus League Baseball. The pop next right here on Valley Sports San Diego.
Baseball brought to you by Petco, official dealers. We make it easy.
Thank you to all the Friar faithful who showed up. It was electric
here in the anticipation for today's big cards right now.
You know, Donnie, we look at last year's big meal.
Little app.
Hopefully, yes. Hopefully, 20 starts today. Friar faithful, buckle in.
To cover it all. As Nick Martinez gets Colton Wong, the veteran, now in an M's uniform. Teoscar Hernandez is in right. Eugenio P. Crawford is at shortstop. Mike Ford is the DH. Just getting ready for the WBC, but getting ready to be
right-hander. Bob Scanlon mentioned the swingman last year. The Padres need every big league team should have a guy like
behind him. Left to right across the outfield. Juan Soto in Machado. Xander Bogaerts, the newcomer at short. Machado doing the catching for Nick Martinez today. Good Padres team, even better. Two-time world.
And Bob Melvin, the manager for the Brown and Gold Friars, says a guy to have in the clubhouse. What an addition. Number 2, Xander Bogaerts.
I am indeed.
Well, I'll tell you what, Colton Wong for the Seattle Mariners is step
3, and the first pitch is fouled back to the screen for strike 1. How about the new rules? Things are going to happen fast.
An eye on it. See how guys adjust to pitchers and hitters alike.
It's back and forth a little too, but that is something they're keeping an eye on, basically, before you actually deliver.
And you can.
Fouled off to the left. It's going to be an adjustment, I think.
Adjustment. And some guys might feel, you know what? I kind of like the quicker pace.
Right. No time to think.
Nick Martinez, we just saw a breaking ball right there.
Swing and a miss, and he strikes out Colton Wong.
That's the changeup. Righty on lefty, throwing like a fastball. That changeup is from the right-hander Martinez.
And Julio Rodriguez, what a first year he had for the first time in a really long time.
Yeah, that's a story within itself. Service the players, the playoffs a long time, but they've got the makings, Don, of a.
Is expected to do even bigger things this year. And the question, left side into left field, a base hit for Rodriguez.
Well, the rookie of the year, he won a Silver Slugger, drove in 75, and that is a good-looking swing from the youngster.
1 out, 1 on, and it brings he's become the Mariners' first baseman.
As a Padre, of course, San Diego State Aztec for life.
Popped up foul off to the right, out of play. Roll. Had a chance to flourish in that rotation for the WBC. Swing and a miss, and an off-balance cut for Ty.
Change up from the right-hander to the right-handed hitter. Way off-balance swing.
That's blocked by Campusano. Sano and Nola kind of going into the season looking like that.
Yeah. Right.
Foul outside of third.
Bob Scanlon talks about it quite a bit, and it's so important for the pit.
Very comfortable with Austin Nola last year.
Yep. This year.
Up and in, and that got him. Hit bound here in the first inning for the Mariners.
And you know, hopefully the main thing is that nobody gets hurt, but that of Hernandez.
Be fun to watch. See how many injuries are part of that as well. Machado will go to second for the Padres are coming up. Of the first inning, Manny Machado getting ready. Xander Bogaerts at the top of that order at shortstop. Nelson Cruz, the DH, in the cleanup spot. Does the catching. Alfonso Rivas at first base, and on the mound is Robbie Ray, and this one is popped up foul, backhand up. Robbie Ray, a newcomer to the Mariners.
This is a free agent back in.
As battling the sun, but made appearance in a Padres uniform. Gave it a ride, but
well, Robbie Ray, he's got a good arm. He's made some adjustable ERA under 4. But look at the strikeouts.
Catcher's box in enough time. He's got to be there with 8 seconds remaining on these violations. Most people are going to think, well, geez, you know, the pitcher, he's got to be in the catcher's box. Off the bat of Machado.
Yeah, it's threefold, right? So everybody has to be, like I said, it's a game of adjustments. The earlier you get on it, and you make
1 out, 1 on. And Soto will take a pitch. Played a lot in the big leagues, but plenty of it is for now envisioned that he will be in right field and move to left. Might as well in the beginning of spring training.
That this Padre team has so much talent. I mean, Mike, offensively, he was quoted online saying that.
He's by him, man. It's 2-2.
Also, Soto at base, right? So Soto in left. Yeah, sounds.
And the 2-2 is headed for third base. He will get there. Soto going back to being Juan Soto again.
Yeah, we saw. See what happens from opening day.
Padres uniform. 459 total. Playing at 124 games last year.
42, Donnie.
Still swinging a hot.
Says he has seen the ball quite well, better than ever.
And Tampa Bay had 32 home runs. That is ball four. Let's check out the Mariners defensively. Jared Kelly, Eugenio Suarez, J.P. Crawford, Colton. Tap foul. Suarez, the second one on to first.
League game of the season, and obviously we've already seen the implication when the bases are empty. When there's runners on, that gets do need to be in the batter's box by 8 seconds, as you guys described. The catchers as well by the Padres so far this season. They started out with 20-second clock. Several days the Padres would go up to certain players and say, here.
And you know, we've been hearing about it for the last couple of years. I didn't know how it was going to work in the minor leagues. I think it is something that is going to help fans, the broadcasters. I think this covers everybody. Not great.
Yeah.
You know, and I think I got to reel it back. Umpires, us, to get used to it. But
13, 10, whatever. 2 hours, 37 minutes.
Perfect.
Right?
Nick Martinez.
Hey, and an infraction in spring training, not that bad of a deal. A strikeout, the high changeup.
Hollywood waiting and realized he had to get back up on the hill.
Got to go.
So that's going to be our phrase of the season. Got to go.
And their routine. And you know what, Don? Like anything. I'm not saying everybody.
No.
But some guys might say up to earlier in my career.
And you know, when you get into a rhythm, he's in it now.
Now you look at J.P. Crawford coming. He's getting right in the box there, and he realizes he's got
5 seconds. Ground ball foul over by the Padres. A lot of Friar faithful coming out here for the first spring training.
West. It's got a bar. Did you just see what happened right there? The clock was sitting down. That back off.
Baseball. Dead for J.P. Crawford. Just kind of fought that off.
And going the other way. Hey, another coming to play as well. 2 on each side of second base. Tuned. Call a friend. We're going to get to that shortly.
Really like.
Yep.
Yes. Extra innings.
Yes. And you know what? The strategy comes into play at second base.
Back towards the wall and a hop, and nicely done. Campusano, the gun down Crawford at the play for the Padres. Good defense. Second inning for Robbie Ray. Brandon Dixon with a swing and a miss. Dixon in limited playing time last year.
You got some players that are going to be leaving camp for a while for certain players.
Short. J.P. Crawford.
It's different this year, and the shift was used frequently over the last set anymore. 2 infielders must now be positioned on each side of substitution. So once your infield is set for an inning, that's the way it has to stay. Now is now 95 feet from the center of the mound to the edge of the grass at once. So don't be surprised if you see some interesting shifts.
Yeah, it was one of your points, but it is something that I think is, you know, I don't know, a series of left-handed hitters are coming.
You might do something about switching one of your infielders, but once the inning starts, I'm really curious to see what teams do with the outfield guys. I mean, maybe left field or right field left completely open.
I do. I think I really feel like we'll see a scenario where and go with 2 outfielders, really, one in right center. We'll see which managers try that first.
Yeah, there's going to be you're giving up the lines possibly. You're giving up, you know, risk reward, I would say. So stay tuned to that.
Take the 0-1 low and away, and it's 1-1.
More, you got to have a rangy second baseman.
I mean, just fewer strikeouts. I mean, and I think that's what it's all about.
It's great to see.
Defense got some great defensive players.
Yes.
Today. And that'll miss. Pitch. And a swing and a miss. Able to strike.